after getting a knockoff of a knockoff and getting a unit that's got just demo software in it, and in the instructions it mentions reflashing it. This is some type of bulk deal, unmarked radio, and the Chinese person that sold it to me has no clue what he's doing. He takes 24 hours to reply to your questions or whatever. So I start sitting there thinking, I'm like, when did this all start? You know, and I can tell you, way back in the computer days, all right, and I say that would be 1989. People started getting interested really in computers, building one up from scratch. So we had a company called CompuAd. It might have been CompuAd USA or whatever. You go there and you could get say a serial parallel board. It's a little tiny plug-in board, and it could be $49. Okay, if you went to the electronics barn, it would be 50-something dollars. Right? So at some point, I'm standing talking to someone, and he tells me, he says, there's a Chinese place on Schuyler Avenue in Kearney. He says, you walk in there, he says, keep a certain amount of money in your pocket, walk in there, go up to the desk, and the kids are sitting there, they're Chinese, they're sitting there playing Nintendo or whatever it was back in those days, little pocket games. And you'd say, I need a serial parallel card, almost like ordering from the Soup Nazi. And they'd get up, and the guy would leave, he'd go in the back room, and he'd come back with a box, just like this, no markings on it at all. And he'd open it up and show it to you, and there was a serial parallel card in there, no instructions. And he'd say $7.50. So you pull out $7.50 and hand it to him. You go home, and there were jumpers on the board. It took a while, you know. On the board there were little markings. They were in English. And you moved the jumpers around for LPT, was it LPT 1 and 2? And you could have two boards in the computer. And you could have 4 parallel ports and 4 serial ports. And the things also had a game port on them. Well, anyway, $7.50. So at some point, I went in the electronics barn, and I saw the same board. They're selling the board for $59. They bought it for $7.50. I said, oh, you found out about the Chinese place. And the guy got really upset with me. Everybody's telling me, yeah, we're selling Chinese board. And it was a Chinese board. He got it for $7.50. He's selling it for $59. And I just, like, gee, sorry I brought it up, But I learned, don't buy anything there. CompuSA or CompuAd, whatever it was, they were selling the same board. Everybody was selling the same crap, but the box was a little different. The box had like CompuSA on it, and you tell the person that's making for you, we want a box with our name on it, and we want some instructions in there. There would be a little instruction booklet, and that's how it was going on. And then as time went on, I started noticing the Chinese stuff is just crap. It's just absolute crap. And then after a while, you just can't buy anything else, right? You're stuck buying it, and you're like, oh, please let it be a good one. And I just started getting burned. I bought a bunch of what was supposed to be, there were supposed to be 10 millihenry chokes, and he sent me ones, and I took pictures and emailed it to the guy, and then the guy just told me, keep it. I said, keep it. But he's gone. He don't want to deal with me anymore. He sent me the wrong one. So I had to order the 10 millihenry chokes, whatever they were, from somebody else. And then I got them, and they were the correct ones. But I had a buddy of mine, and he calls up, and he's into, like, say, Superman television show and the old Perry Mason. So he started buying these CDs, complete box sets. And he says to me, he goes, John, when you run in the CD, it's got the television logo on the side. They copied the programs off television, and usually another country. And then they make a box set, and they sold it to him. And he really didn't care. He says, the quality isn't that good. And I'm like, you kidding me? He goes, no. He says most of the video stuff on eBay, you got to watch. It's going to be an illegal copy. And that's still going on to this day on eBay. Okay, so when I bought this thing, I looked for the USA vendor, and I should have known when it was California. It would be Chinese. Okay, they got a big enclave of Chinese people. They're all on eBay. They're all selling stuff that they're buying as cheap as they can buy, so they can mark it up. But what this guy did to me was he is used descriptions from someone else's web page or someone else's page, and I should have known because there are antennas on eBay that don't have an amplifier in it and don't have a rotor, but in the description, amplified antenna with rotor. And you got people that buy the thing, and then in the comments section or where they rate the person, uh, basically say there's no rotor, there's no amplifier. It's just a cheap piece of junk. And you got the antenna guy, and he's always warning you. So when I bought a Winegard. I bought the juice amplifier. Everything's been going pretty good. I still don't know. I aim out the back of my house. When the leaves come on the trees, will there be a problem? I still don't know that. But right now, I have all my TV channels. Now, the juice amplifier is made in China, but it seems to be really well made. So it's hit and miss. But I bought this radio to help me track down some of these problems from these power adapters. And I have a new one in the house. It powers the amplifier up in the attic for the antenna. And this thing blocks everything else. So if I want to listen to anything AM broadcast band or shortwave at night, I have to unplug it. So I have a wall wart coming. And the same thing. The guy said it's an AC switcher. And clearly in the picture, you can see it's an old-fashioned wall wart. So I don't know. I ordered that, and I said, let me order another one from somebody else. So now I've been ordering things from two different vendors, two different looks on the picture. And then I'm finding that the people put a picture up, and it's not what they send you. And I had that happen with the pair of cutters. All right? I don't know if these are real. I don't know if these are fake. But these are over 30 years old. And this is supposed to be in the picture. They showed this one. They send me this one. It's dull on one side. It cuts just as bad as the one that's worn out. China on the label. So I said to myself, don't buy anything more on eBay. eBay is the problem. eBay allows all these people to be on there. And they're Chinese. Okay? It's that simple. Oh, you're picking on... I'm not picking on Chinese. I have Chinese people here in my neighborhood. I'm friends with them. I have Vietnamese people here. I'm friends with them. Okay? It's just that California has a real large area that's Chinese. And I guess their thing is they import stuff from China because they have relatives over there that can do the translations, get the stuff sent here. And they really don't know that's real technical stuff. Now, I do a lot of walking. And we had this really big fairground. When I first moved here, it had just closed down. So I talked to the neighbors, and they're like, well, you go up to the Green Dragon. Well, Green Dragon's got the same sort of problem. A lot of the stuff there is knockoffs, but they don't close it down. So I'm walking by this park, and the town did buy that property and turned it into a park. And I asked around, and I saw someone nearby that had a store, and the woman was outside doing like an outside sale. And I said, what went on over there? She says, it got so bad. She said, originally, it was a flea market every Saturday, and maybe, I don't think it was Sunday, I think it was just Saturday. And they said they were selling antiques there, and everything was fine. And little by little, they started getting Chinese vendors that sold knockoff stuff. Nike, Reebok. Anyway, they're selling knockoff stuff, and they kept getting their stuff seized. And on Saturday, those guys that do seize stuff do work, and they come in, and they close these vendors down. And then they got so many complaints, the town said enough already, and the guy that owned the property that was doing it closed it down. Okay. So this problem has been going on for a long time, and this is based on a Russian radio, okay? And the Chinese just jump right in, okay? There's no patents or anything. Now in the software, I guess they got scared, so somebody just put a demo amount in the radio, figuring nothing will go wrong. And then the Chinese guy that sold it to me, he doesn't know what he's doing, or he's just a sneaky scumbag. Okay, I don't know which he is, but either way, I got this thing now. He'll probably say send it back. Well, I've already put 4 hours in on it, thinking it was me. Have to read, figure out stuff, realizing most of the menus are missing because it's got a demo mode. All right, so I finally realized it's not me. This always happens. I always think it's me, and then it becomes not me. Then I find out that someone pulled a quick one on me. You know, I have a whole life of this crap, of someone pulling a quick one on me, selling me yesterday's computers at tomorrow's prices. Electronic Barn was famous for that. You know, sell you some bad RAM modules. And you're like, how could you get bad RAM modules? Well, they're buying it from the cheapest vendor they can buy from. Also, the Electronic Barn, it was alongside a creek that was all walled in, and the creek would overflow and flood the factories and stuff around it. So they would buy up all the flooded computers, and they'd pay some guy to like scrub them down a little bit, and they'd sell the boards. And the one time the guy had a bunch of these modem boards, and I took them home for him, and I'm troubleshooting. I'm like, water got in these, so I go back, and first he got annoyed at me. I said, I took these boards home, and I troubleshot them down to the coils. There were these coils on there, and they still had water in them. And it was all green water and stuff. And then he finally told me the story that they bought up stuff from some insurance company or whatever. And then they'd turn it around and sell yesterday's computers at tomorrow's prices. And a lot of people didn't know any better. And if someone had told me about the Chinese place, I wouldn't have been getting parallel serial boards for $7.50. Okay, but that started showing you how cheap this stuff really was. Now the Chinese kids, they'd sit there playing on their Nintendos or whatever they're playing. I think it was Game Boy maybe back in those days. And that's what they did. Their parents put them in there, or that's where they worked. And you go in there and you just tell them what you want, and they come out with it, and then they tell you how much, and you got to pay cash. You know, it was no like, well, I'll give you a credit. No, when you went in there, it was like the soup Nazi. I want this. You stand there and wait. He says how much. You hand him the money. Okay, so you knew, like a power supply. You knew a power supply went for $79 in a regular store. So you took $79 with you in bills that you could give out. And the guy would come out and he says $23. So you go in your pocket, you pull out $23 and you leave. You plug the power supply on, turn it on, and it would work. It was that simple, okay? Now it's hit and miss. And as I was looking at the different vendors that sold this radio, I said to myself, don't go cheap or something's going to go wrong. Well, something went wrong, okay? And now that I read people that actually recommend this, they say I'll list the vendor I bought mine from just to prevent problems. And then I found one guy. Now this is an aluminum case. And it's got end plates that have 4 screws on each end. It's like a mod case that you could use for different projects. And he got one in a plastic case. It's all screwed up. So he suffered even worse than me. It's possible that I could reflash this, like I had to do with this thing. Okay, and this was on my old set of videos. This took several days. I added on you can see that connector here for flashing it. The problem I had was Windows. I had shut off the update, and there was an update that had to be done in order for the product to work or to load these other drivers. Got it all working, and you know, the thing. I think I said I'd pay $12 something for it instead of $7. Well, the $7 one worked. This one, junk. Okay, and that's what basically I have to say. eBay. I call it e-dumpster. It's getting so bad, and it's not the vendor's fault. They should have been kicked out. And I just this morning I started reading, and the people are saying, other people that are selling on eBay, why are they allowing all those people on there? It's money. These guys are power sellers. You know, they sell you stuff. And like this one guy that I bought from, he's selling Toyota replacement parts that are fake. And, you know, when you got a Toyota, you can keep that thing going for years. Well, not if you put Chinese fake parts in it. And what he does is he puts pictures up of the real part, made in USA, or I think it would be Japan. And the person looks at the part and then they order it. And he doesn't get back to them. If they send the part back to him, he never gives them their money back. So I know where I'm at right now. I sent him sort of a nasty letter. I'll wait 7 days, and then I'll put a nasty comment up on the review. But I don't know. You know, I bought this radio to sort of cheer me up, because I don't want to go into all the crappy stuff that's going on here. But you know, you buy yourself something. I said, you know, let me treat myself. So yeah, that worked out real well. But I have a long history of this crap happening, and I know not to send this back to the guy, because it's only going to get worse. Okay, send it back to him. You probably have to buy. I don't know if I bought through PayPal. I might have just bought through eBay. Yeah, on a credit card. See, PayPal bailed out of eBay, or they kicked PayPal out, or whatever. I can imagine why, because a lot of the purchases on eBay were shady. Okay, and then PayPal has to give the money back, and then they probably said, let's get out of here. You know, but I do have a PayPal account. I do have an eBay account, and it just didn't go well. You know, like I said, I can make a project out of this, flashing it. You know, I've been reading a little at a time on it, and you have to disconnect the battery. You have to put a jumper in there. It's basically this crap all over again. You know, and then when you're done, it's a radio that receives bands that nobody's really on that much anymore. But I wanted it to be able to go around and be able to see if I'm getting closer to the signal, and what frequency the signal's on, and you know, what's the neighbor next door. But I managed to buy some more switching supplies. You know, this light I always talk about. Okay, switching supply. Here's the light. Switching supply. I'm charging up my phone right now. Switching supply. So if I put my phone on charge and then turn on my AM radio on certain stations, you know, I said to myself, let me turn something on and relax. You turn on it, yeah, that's it. So you say, well, you could go to FM. Well, you have to live in Lancaster to see. We have two or three FM stations to play the same song at the same time every day. The good playlists are on the AM broadcast stations, because I believe they pull the signals down from a satellite. They download the playlist, and then they put it on, and they put some really obscure songs on. Where the FM station, you can time it. You go, and the one station, I won't say it's call letters, but I turn it on at night, and the same song would come on, same 3 in a row, and I was like, oh man, this is bad. And then television here, we all know about television. J.J. Walker, it's free, dynamite, and then Joe Namath, and the rest of them. Every commercial, you got Joe Namath, and you got, it's free. You know, so I said, buy this radio, and I could sit there and relax and tune around. You know, there's no commercials, because when I'm on my computer now, YouTube, okay, commercials pop up. Norton Utility, yesterday was the last day, and I had to reinstall Windows. So Norton keeps trying to update me, but it's got the wrong version of Windows now. It can't handle the new update of Windows, so it bombs out. So every time I turn my computer on, I'm met with a bunch of screens, because Norton's having a problem. Okay, and then while you're online reading something, these pop-ups come from Norton. Oh, would you like to try LifeLock? You go on your email, and you read an email, and in there are emails, and you click on Norton LifeLock, you know, commercial. Then you put the television on, Norton LifeLock. It's free, dynamite. Just call a number, your zip code. I think that's it. All right, that's it.